was the reference I was going for, yes.
I have a feeling that this is TikTok's fault, by the way.
It probably is.
All right, let's switch this over.
How the fuck did TikTok win the social media wars?
I don't know. We're going to go, though.
Okay.
While the going's hot. Welcome back to Jedi Enclave. I'm Daniel.
I'm Chris.
And this is the Jedi Enclave Presents. Now, this is Podcasting Podcast, which is our weekly podcast about Star Wars accessories, and other nerd things that we enjoy. Like Game of Thrones and Spider-Noir, apparently, which is the thing that's happening.
That?
We're going to talk about it. It's on the list.
Oh, man.
Let me just say that we seem to both be surprised that Spider-Noir is a live-action thing and not animated.
The most recent character iteration of the character is from the Spider-Verse movies, right? Which are animated.
Right.
And, like, I'm not opposed to more live-action Nick Cage. I was just surprised.
In fact, I would argue that live-action Nick Cage is better than animated Nick Cage because you can't really get the nuances.
That's true.
Of Nick Cage unless you're seeing his face. Because he does such ridiculous things with his face. And it's a lot of fun.
He whole asses every role.
No, he does.
Gets.
I don't think I've ever seen Nick Cage, even in his, so I grew up watching a movie called Con Air, which basically goes like this. Nick Cage plays a Navy SEAL an Army Ranger, not that it matters, who is, serves his time in the Army, comes home to his wife in Alabama, and he and his wife go out to a bar. And a drunk guy and his buddies kind of try to rough him up. And he accidentally kills one of them.
Oh.
Because his hands are registered weapons, right? Because he's an Army Ranger.
Yeah, sure.
And he really does. Like, they go out and they have this fight, and he hits the guy right in the nose.
Ooh.
And, it just drops him dead.
Yeah.
And then gets sentenced to prison. And the judge is
understandable.
Not really, because it could have happened to anyone, and the judge was like, well, your hands are registered weapons, so you should have known better. So they put him in prison, and he serves out his entire term, or his entire sentence, during which his daughter is born. And the federal government, at the end of his sentence, is like, we have this great idea.
Okay.
We are going to take all of the most dangerous criminals in the world. One of them played by the brilliant John Malkovich.
Of being John Malkovich.
Yes. And also, who's... Oh, God, what is his name? He's from New York. His dad was a firefighter that fought 9/11. He's got a real weird face.
I think I know who you're talking about.
If you know who we're talking about, put in the chat.
It's not Steve Buscemi.
It is Steve Buscemi. Yes,
oh, okay.
He's in this. So they're fucking Machete. He was in the Book of Boba Fett. Danny Trejo is in it.
Trejo.
Yeah. Okay.
Love Danny Trejo.
So the federal government is like, we're going to take all of these super dangerous, the most dangerous criminals in the country, put them on a prison plane.
Okay.
And fly them from one prison to another, and everything will be just fine. And
why?
There wouldn't be a movie plot without it. That's more or less why. The guy that plays O'Brien in Star Trek is in it.
Cole Meany. Yeah.
He's not. He's one of the cops. So of course, while this plane is in the air, the prisoners hatch this long brewing plan to take over the plane. And Nick Cage's character Cameron Poe is like the only good guy on board, right? It's like every Steven Seagal thing ever. And it's a whole thing. And I'll be goddamned, Chris, if it isn't kind of a great movie in a weird kind of way. But the number one thing, and people who have seen Con Air will attest to this, is that throughout the whole thing, Nick Cage attempts a Southern accent. And it's so bad. It is so fucking hilariously bad. But he's like, he does whole ass every single thing. He half-asses nothing. Anyway, welcome to our weekly show.
Funny thing I recently learned about Danny Trejo.
Yeah.
He stipulates in his contracts that all the villain characters he plays must die in the movies that they're in because he doesn't want them to be like an
He's right about this. Right. He wants kids to know that if you're a bad guy, you're going to get shot by the cops or something. Yeah. Someone says Pete Davidson. No, that's
also
true. I think
a possibility.
I think his dad was involved in 9/11 as a firefighter, but I don't think Pete Davidson was old enough to be in this movie when it came out. Yeah. This week we're talking about the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer. We actually got one.
Yes.
Not the Super Bowl Sam Elliott teaser. We got a full length trailer, which is good because that movie's coming out in a couple months. There was a new episode of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and it is. At the moment of this live show, I think in the top 3 IMDb rated Game of Thrones episodes ever in that universe, including Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon and everything else.
I can see that.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that. We're talking about Spider-Noir a little bit of Star Wars news. While you're here, if you could go give us a like on Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitch, Discord, and TikTok. This is live, so in between segments, we will try to read the chat a little bit. For example, Star Wars / Transformers / Disney, who we know is Hayden. He's been playing Battlefront with us.
Hey, Hayden.
Says, how you doing today? We're doing great, man. Love the setup. Oh, thank you. Anyone chatting with us on the other thing? No. Well, if you're watching us on Twitch or YouTube, fuck you guys. Star Wars Galactic Racer.
Yes.
Had a gameplay trailer. That launched this last week. This is a game being developed by Fuse Games.
Oh yeah, this was on the PlayStation Jack-Off Hour.
The
PlayStation Experience or whatever.
Weird way to say that. Second, you're talking about the State of Play.
Yes,
I discovered, I have not played it yet, but they released a 2D side-scrolling God of War game that I've not played.
Yep.
And then I discovered that Ghosts of Yotai, which is a game I am like balls deep in right now.
They have that new DLC thing.
There's going to be like a multiplayer thing going on. So there's that as well. But anyway, Fuse Games, a UK founded studio in 2023 by former Criterion developers, are working on this game. There was a team that previously worked on other Star Wars content like the speeder bikes in Battlefront, which don't handle great. And I'm not sure you'd want to put that out there in general.
But they also, I think it said they worked on the Burnout games.
Yeah,
well.
Burnout, Need for Speed, which makes sense because they're doing a racing game.
Yeah, so they have some racing game pedigree there.
Also, they did their Rogue One X-Wing, or they worked on the Rogue One X-Wing VR mission. And it looks like the game's using Unreal Engine.
Which is expected. Every game uses Unreal now. Unless you're EA, in which case you still have to use fucking Frostbite.
Or I don't think Ubisoft uses Unreal Engine.
No, they probably have
they have their... Or not Ubisoft. I don't know. Ubisoft probably doesn't either. But Rockstar.
Oh, yes, Rockstar.
For like GTA and Red Dead, I think they have their own proprietary...
Rockstar has their own thing.
Yeah.
I believe CD Projekt Red has their own proprietary engine. But like everybody else just uses Unreal because it's easier. Because you can hire anybody and they already know how to use Unreal.
Sure. So first of all, the game looks pretty good. I don't know if you've seen the trailer. There was a big cameo at the end with Ben Quadraneros, who, unless you are the real nerdy Episode 1 fans, you might not know that he's one of the pod racers. That he's the guy that stalls out at the beginning with Anakin Skywalker. Right? They both stall out.
Yeah.
And then the pit droids are running around and everything, and Anakin's able to take off, and then Ben Quadraneros is just kind of explodes. So apparently he survived that because this takes place after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
But he's in the end. He's in the trailer at the end. So we've discovered that the game is track based, not open world, and I'm not sure why people are so surprised by this because how do you do an open world racing game?
Mario Kart World answers that question, but also
does it answer it well?
I mean, I haven't played it, so I can't really say that.
Let me ask: should it be open worlds?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
He goes on to mention one of the advantages of a track-based setup is that you can practice things and get really, really good at them and develop mastery, and that's something that, I mean,
circuit familiarity.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a concept that at least resonates with you and me, I feel like, being musicians.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure you have passages that you practice over and over again for weeks on end to get absolutely perfect.
I've practiced for saxophone lessons during my undergrad where I cried. Mm-hmm. I don't know if they're going for the same thing.
Probably not.
But they, like you said, they are designing it around replayability and like mastering the circuit and everything,
and shaving just that 1 extra tenth of a second off your time.
So it also looks like they were talking a little bit about the 2-phase boost system, which is there's a standard boost mechanic and it's enhanced.
You go fast and then you go even faster, except if you go even faster for too long, you blow up.
Right. Because of it builds up heat. It's called ramjet, and apparently that heat system is impacted by the environment. So if you're on Mustafar, if you're driving your fucking Cadillac on Mustafar, it's going to heat up faster than if you were on Hoth, for example.
Yeah, and they mentioned this track on this world where like there's a river of lava and a river of water, and like the lava makes your thing heat up faster, but you also get to operating temperature faster, so you can maybe go faster that way. Yeah. But if you go the other way, you'll burn off more heat faster or something.
Right. They are marketing this as a racing adventure. The players control a named canonical Star Wars character called Shade. And it also includes a walkable paddock hub area between races, so you can go and talk to other characters and upgrade your vehicle, and there's like a narrative and everything.
Yeah, I have a bunch of thoughts about this. First, that like part of the whole appeal of being in the Star Wars universe is that you're actually in the universe and there are recognizable characters and people there that you can interact with.
Right.
Which is like, I think the first reveal trailer of this game showed Sebulba.
Yeah,
which, like, obviously everyone knows Sebulba's a dick.
Right.
But like, it'd be nice to go up and just, have the option to conversationally punch him in the face.
Yeah.
They also mentioned that like these vehicles are kind of huge, but you don't really get that scale while you're going at 400 miles an hour. So being able to like be on a human scale and just walk around and say, holy shit, this pod racer is huge.
Yeah, that would be pretty neat. Yeah, the whole Sebulba thing is really confusing to me as well, because I'm pretty sure Vader kills him in the comics. So I'm not sure.
Apparently that's not canon anymore.
I don't know. They might have taken that out.
Yeah.
Or that could have just been like a daydream that Vader was having, maybe.
That is a very Vader thing to
like
daydream.
He goes into his little meditation capsule and is like, oh, it'd be really nice if I killed Sebulba. I'm just going to think about that for a second.
That guy's a huge dick.
So the game will include a campaign story mode, an arcade mode, and multiplayer, which I think is cool. Yeah. And then they're not doing the season pass like live service model, which is kind of nice. And if there's post-launch content, they have not talked about it yet, so we're not really sure about that. You were talking about the size. It looks like in this the skimmers are like really, really large, between like 7 and 8 meters long. And you, like you said, walking around them will kind of get that, like you get that sense of scale and everything. So this takes place after the Galactic Civil War, post Battle of Jakku. So it's after Return of the Jedi. And they haven't gotten into the timeline much more than that, right?
I think that's fine for the type of game this
we don't need a big connection to all the other shit happening, right?
We don't need fucking the Razor Crest flying across the sky.
Exactly. Yeah. This is a humble racing game. It does not need Luke Skywalker doesn't need to show up or anything. Like it's perfectly fine.
Wouldn't it be fucking crazy though if like you get to the end of the story and the final boss is Luke Skywalker? You have to race against Luke.
No, it's Luke in his Skyhopper, or the Skyhopper from
T16.
His T16. Yeah, that would be metal as fuck. I've actually pretty much enjoyed that. Okay, real quick before we get going, hey, when you got the chance, what is your opinion on the scrapped Ben Solo movie?
I think it would have been a terrible idea, and it's a good thing they're not producing it. Not because I think like the script was necessarily bad, or because Adam Driver wouldn't have been good at it, because I think Adam Driver is fantastic.
Yeah.
I think the first problem
Adam Driver is the only reason I can watch Rise of Skywalker.
the first problem with that movie is that in The Rise of Skywalker, Ben Solo fucking dies.
Or
and like disappears into the ether.
Right.
So the first thing you need to do is explain to all the normies in the audience
why that's reversible.
Yes.
And why didn't it happen to Yoda or Obi-Wan or Luke?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. I think having a Ben Solo story in some way would be really cool. And even if they I mean, this feels really weird, but honestly, the sequel trilogy came out kind of a long time ago. At this point, Adam Driver's starting to get probably a little too old to be doing younger Ben Solo.
Yeah.
However, I maintain that Finn Wolfhard from Stranger Things and It Chapter 1 and 2 or Part 1 and 2, the Muschietti It, and he's also in like some of the new Ghostbusters movies, would be a brilliant young Ben Solo. And so they could do a story that's, you know, maybe how the seduction with Snoke happened, like how that whole thing started and everything. I think that would be pretty cool.
Unfortunately, Disney is allergic to recasting anybody, so it's never going to happen.
Yeah. What do y'all think about? What do y'all think about after Rey Skywalker? What happened afterwards? I don't think much about it at all, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to find out if this Rey movie ever gets off the ground.
Yeah, who's doing that one? It's not Mangold. Mangold's doing the Dawn of the Jedi movie.
What's her name?
I don't think it's a female. I think it's a dude. It's some dude.
Was it not?
No, you're thinking of Patty Jenkins, I think, who's doing or is not doing Rogue Squadron. Or not Rogue Squadron. Yeah, Rogue Squadron.
Yeah. Yes, but that's not the one I was thinking of. I forget her name now.
Charmaine Obaid-Choi.
Yes.
I
think. I'm pretty sure.
Maybe she is. Well, maybe she's directing it, and the guy I'm thinking of is writing it. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Something like that. Yeah.
There will apparently be a movie
someday.
That,
maybe. Hopefully.
Yeah. I think the next movie will be the Skywalker Strike Back, or something. God, I hope not. Okay,
moving on.
The Mandalorian and Grogu finally had a trailer after almost the entire fan base was left, shall we say, wanting after the Super Bowl. Sam Elliott narrated Tauntaun spot.
I thought it was a little bit funny and a little bit cute.
It was cute. It's fine. I don't think I could argue that it is cute. But I wanted a fucking trailer. I wanted a full trailer. Yeah. And that's usually what they do with the Super Bowl. You know, instead of we're going to make this Budweiser look-alike.
Yeah, I mean, you have billions of people watching. Yeah. Why not throw your biggest trailer at it?
Anyway, they did that. What is it? Yesterday, and I did give Kathleen Kennedy a call, and I was like, I know you're still working over there for a little bit until you leave. If you could do the podcast, the Jedi Enclave presents, This Is Podcasting podcast, a solid.
And just drop
the trailer before
Tuesday.
We go live. That would be great. And Kathleen Kennedy was like, well, since you and I famously are very close friends and you are a Disney show, yeah, we can do that for you.
We can do it.
Yeah, and I was like, thanks, Kathleen.
Thanks, Kathleen.
And I hung up. It was great. It was a great conversation. So let's talk about this trailer a little bit. Okay. Lots of interesting things.
Lots of huts.
Oh, yeah. The huts are back, baby.
There's a lot
for
of
some
hut
reason.
footage.
Yeah. By the way, Jeremy Allen White, the guy from The Bear and Shameless, is playing Rhoda the Hut.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah, who is the Gladiator Hut guy.
Oh, he's gonna be fantastic in that role.
Yeah. So
I just remember him screaming about fire 86 beefs, 1,000 chickens.
Yes, chef. A hut would want all that food probably.
Yeah.
So I indicated last week I was coming off that Super Bowl spot a little hot, and I indicated that I was pretty worried about this movie.
Yes.
I still am.
Okay. That's fair.
However, that being said, some of the trailer looks pretty neat. Some of it looks like it was filmed on the volume, and it more or less looks like maybe a long episode of Mandalorian season X. So let's go through it a little bit. The tone is a little bit different. So if you were to sum up the tone of like Andor. What would you say the tone of Andor is?
Somber, a little bit desperate, like serious, I guess.
And also begging the American public to go on a revolution. But that's entirely beside the point. This, in contrast, seems
rambunctious.
Yeah, a little bit more rambunctious, lighthearted, maybe pulpy.
Which kind of fits with what The Mandalorian has been to this point.
Except for when Luke Skywalker showed up, and then it was just,
oh my God, shit my pants.
So, it does feel larger in scale than the TV series. Like some of the visuals seem a little bit bigger, and the problem in the series is that there was no shortage of different locations. The Mandalorian in the show goes all over the fucking place. Yeah. Like every episode is a new planet and new characters and everything. So it seems like it's importing some more of that. There are going to be a lot of different locations visited. And it, I don't know how much grander this is going to be. The question is, how serious are they going to get with the plot? Because what we can kind of discern from the trailer is that, and we knew they were going to do this at the end of season 3, right?
Yes.
So at the end of season 3, Mandalorian and Grogu go to the rebellion bar at the end where Zeb is like hanging out. And Mandalorian's like, it would be kind of fun as if I went and hunted some Imperial warlords. And they're like, yeah, that'd be fucking great.
Fantastic.
Yeah, because we hate those guys.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
dicks.
So it seems like that's what he's doing, right, in the film.
Which is a good and worthy thing for a bounty hunter to do.
Now, it would seem that Sigourney Weaver's character is kind of she's the NPC standing next to the bounty poster in a video, in whatever video
she's
game.
the one with the quest marker over her head.
Yes, and she's handing out sabbat cards, literally, for different warlords.
And you kill this guy and this guy and that guy, and if you do, you get a full house.
Right, exactly, yeah, and you'll get 1,200 XP. So, interesting thing also from this is the Razor Crest the Razor Crest returns.
I think he just got
I think he did get a new one, and I saw an interesting argument about this so there are two sides to this. First of all, his N1 Naboo Starfighter was kind of a part of his character growth.
Okay.
Right.
Fair.
And that's kind of what he has in Mandalorian season 2.5, which is the bit of Mandalorian right in the middle of the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, he gets the hot rod.
Right. And so is he gonna sell that?
Well, doesn't he have the house on Carl Weathers' planet?
Oh yeah, Navarro.
Yeah, so
maybe
he's
got a
park
garage
it there.
Yeah. Now
park it there. Put that big tarp on it so that like
put
halfway
it
through
up on blocks.
The dramatic reveal.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's the hot rod.
Yeah. He's gonna park the Razor Crest and he's gonna turn to Grogu and he's gonna be like, "We need something fast."
Yeah.
And he's gonna pull the tarp off and it's gonna go, ba-ba-bum, ba-ba-ba-dum, bum. It's gonna be pretty neat. So the problem when they introduced the N1 Starfighter was that how do you bounty hunt in a thing with literally no more than 2 seats.
No cargo space.
Yeah. And because his whole shtick was like,
I can bring you in warm or I can bring you in cold.
And the cold part I do by getting you on the ship and freezing you in a little portable carbonite thing, right?
Yeah.
So I understand the logic of getting him a larger ship back because how are you going to hunt Imperial warlords and bring it back?
It also just gives more room for drama for marching around and chewing on the scenery and gesticulating.
Right. It's like you have somewhere to sit and think about things. Yeah. It's exactly what they did in seasons 1 and 2, where they're sitting around. Grogu tries to force choke Cara Dune in the cargo hold, and they're like, "Bad baby, bad." Maybe they'll do that again, except not Cara Dune because
she's been written out.
Gina Carano's not in the show anymore.
Cara Dune died on the way back to her home planet.
in a very terrible, regrettable X-wing accident. So we get a lot of urban underworld shots. A neon grunge city, which does not look like Coruscant, and is fans are thinking probably Nar Shaddaa, the smuggler's moon.
I want to say we had a mention of this movie a while back and that there was a planet specifically named there, but I don't remember what the planet is anymore.
Wait, say that again?
Like a couple weeks or maybe months ago, we had a segment on this show where we talked about Mando and Grogu rumors, and there was a specific planet named, but I don't remember.
Oh, well, maybe it was Nar Shaddaa. which is
it was not Nar Shaddaa. It was something new.
Well, this is the big fan speculation,
Yes.
which is the planet that orbits Nal Hutta, which would make sense given how many Hutts are in this trailer.
Granted, yes.
Martin Scorsese makes a cameo.
Oh.
Which is a big surprise to everyone because Martin Scorsese has been spending the last several years being like, you know what really sucks? Star Wars and Marvel.
Oh, fuck. I forgot that he was that guy.
Yeah. And now here he is. He's playing
cinema.
Yeah, that guy, exactly. So he's voicing an Ardennian food stall owner who we know that species from a Solo: A Star Wars Story.
Mm-hmm.
And the stall's name is Hugo's, which is likely a reference to his film and everything. And
he's the one who you're asking about. That guy? No, we're closed.
Yeah. So he's looking for. He shows up asking about a hut, right?
Mm-hmm.
We talked about this about deck of cards mission structure, which is almost exactly straight from a video game with how they're doing the Imperial Warlords. We get a bigger look at the Snow Fortress location that they're going to be doing, which is most likely how they're starting the film out, because they're not going to give us a bunch of like third act set pieces in the trailer.
Yeah,
just because they want to keep that. Yeah, they want to keep that kind of as a surprise. So
there's a neat action sequence where he like comes in the door, like uses his flamethrower to set the floor on fire, and then shoots two snow troopers.
Yeah, it is pretty neat. And also probably someone pointed out in our Discord, it's real cash money of him to warm them up a little bit because they're probably really cold. So we see 3 Hutts. Two of them are the twins from the Book of Boba Fett. I can't remember their names. I'm not going to say they all look the same, but they all kind of look the same.
They're twins, so
they literally look exactly the same. Yeah, and then Rat of the Hutt, which is, I shit you not, Jabba the Hutt's son.
Oh, okay.
Who is from Clone Wars, the movie.
So I guess that means Jabba canonically fucked.
Ew.
Good for Jabba.
But yes. Oh, I don't know. Like maybe their tail falls off and it just kind of sprouts into a new one.
If you know the mechanics of Hutt reproduction,
let us know. Put it in the comments.
Yeah. Scientifically. Yeah. Like we're not looking for your fucking fan fiction here.
Right, yeah.
We just
want to know we need to know the biology behind it, please. Yeah. So where are we on this? Also a couple shots of the Mandalorian with his helmet not on, which a bunch of people in a post I made on Facebook was like, what is that about?
I think because it looks like he got captured by Hutts or something.
Maybe I think they just took it off.
I think that's a very deliberate shaming thing. Like, oh, you Mandos, you always keep your helmets on. It's this big cultural taboo for you. Well, guess what? Taking your helmet off. Yeah. How do you like me now, jackass? Aren't you so ashamed of yourself that you let me take your helmet off?
This begs the question. The living waters of Mandalore or whatever. Is it going to be like a confessional from now on? Where like every week Din Djarin's got to go to the little pool.
Revolving
he's
door.
He's like, forgive me, waters, I have sinned. My helmet, but the last time my helmet was removed was.
If you go through like enough times, they punch your ticket, you get a free frappuccino or something.
I feel like Catholicism would have taken off a lot better if that's how they would have done. Because you know how they had the indulgences back in the day? You could just pay some gold and have all your sins. Or, they could be like, you commit 10 sins, your 11th gets a frap.
No, come to confession 10 times.
You're right. Okay, no, that's probably right. Not sin 10 times because they don't want you to do that. Yeah. I'm just saying, if you're out there and you represent the Catholic Church, I have some marketing ideas. You could get a hold of me. It does look like Din and Grogu are going to be, we're going to spend some time apart. But the other really cool thing is that it looks like Grogu has more agency.
Yeah.
Like there's an action bit where Din Djarin's like, kid, like fucking, we have work to do. Let's go. And he like jumps into
jumps into this hover cradle and goes zooming off.
There is a Grogu interacts with a mysterious like figure that gives off Yoda, Luke, Dagobah things.
Sort of.
There is an albino dragon snake, which is we first saw him in Empire Strikes Back. It's the thing that tries to eat R2 when he falls into the lake. Yeah. And then a really big cameo by the bounty hunter Embo, who's from Clone Wars, was created by Dave Filoni. Which, by the way, now that Dave Filoni is in charge of everything, he's like, all of my characters are going in Star Wars now.
Everywhere.
So, we're gonna have Ahsoka and Harrison Dula and all this, and we're putting Embo in this shit, and Rat of the Hutt and all the shit I created.
All the ones I had in my sketchbook that didn't get out there initially, we're putting them all in everything.
There was a really cool nod to the late Carl Weathers, who died last year, I think, on the door to the fighting ring. When he walks in, the Arbesh reads Apollo Weathers, I think, which is like a shout out to Carl Weathers and everything, which is kind of cool. So, yeah, I don't know. We're gonna see it no matter what, and hopefully it's a fun ride at the very least. Yeah. I don't know how serious they're gonna get with it in terms of like the broader galactic conflict, whether or not they're going to connect this with Grand Admiral Thrawn. Because this is happening around the same time, right? Like,
it could very well be that like the closing shot is Thrawn arriving.
Okay. Well, like, you mean like his arrival from Ahsoka season 1? Yes. Yeah, maybe. So yeah, we'll see how it is. Spider-Noir.
Yes.
An 8-episode Amazon series set in an alternative 1930s New York City had a live action trailer this last week.
They have a funny little gimmick with this show where like you can watch it in full color or you can watch it in black and white for the full noir effect.
Yes, I think I'm going to be watching it in black and white. I bet that's kind of how they're intending for it to be consumed. You know?
I'll watch in color and we can compare notes.
All right. Nick Cage is reprising the Spider-Noir character, which he played in the Spider-Verse, yeah. He's playing Ben Reilly, a down-on-his-luck private investigator known simply as the Spider. And the whole thing is like a Humphrey Bogart, Bugs Bunny kind of thing. And I can tell you, I think this looks kind of fun.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of excited about this.
I don't expect it to change the world or anything, but it seems a little bit goofy. It's a good vehicle for Nick Cage to just put his whole ass into acting a character.
Yeah, I think it would be pretty neat.
I mean, he punches a couple guys really hard. He has this funny, ridiculous-looking mask.
Yeah.
I think it'll be pretty
I'm here for it. Yeah. I'll watch Nick Cage and everything. There's a movie that he's in with Pedro Pascal called
I know what you're talking about because I've seen gifs of it on the internet of that one scene where like Pedro Pascal is just driving and laughing and Nick Cage is like, is this guy crazy?
Well, because they both get like really high together in the movie. Yeah, it is a hilarious movie. It's the I have to look this up real quick. Everyone hold on.
Daniel has to look it up or else it'll bug him forever.
Nick Cage, Pedro Pascal movie. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, which is I think it came out like right on the like the end of
it's 2022, so
like COVID and everything. So
that would make sense.
Our buddy Graham has sent some roses.
Oh, well, thank you.
I don't know what to do with them. Do we collect them?
Maybe
press them and put them in a book or something. I think the next movie will be. Oh, I already read that. What do you guys think about that Maul series coming up? Oh, well, first of all, I'm pretty excited about it. And that's coming up pretty fast, isn't it? It's coming up in March. Everything is there's a lot of shit happening in March.
There's so much happening in March.
Yeah, because it's like there's like
so Invincible,
Maul, Project Hail Mary,
the Boys.
Yeah.
What was the other superhero thing?
You said Invincible, right?
Invincible, The Boys. There's one other. Oh, is that Daredevil?
Yes.
Yeah, Daredevil.
Season 2, I think. Yeah.
God, March is gonna be so fucking busy.
Yeah. It's funny. I almost scheduled a Star Wars story time on this one, but I didn't think we'd have enough time. And so
we're not gonna have time for that for a long time.
I'm gonna have to fit it in somewhere because they did a like a one-off Jar Jar Binks comic that actually got kind of serious.
Well, how many episodes is Night of the Seven Kingdoms?
Next week is the last.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think we have a week between that and when all the shit starts hitting the wall.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, maybe we'll do it then. Somehow the Razor Crest returns. Star Wars Return of the Razor Crest.
Yep. Okay.
All right. So,
speaking of.
yes. Let me say that if you are a Game of Thrones super fan, you probably already know this, which is that the visual medium version of this story generally follows a formula. The exception is season 2 of House of the Dragon, but that was really because of like a bunch of shit happened with the production, where you have the whole season, and then the penultimate episode of the season, which is to say the episode before the season finale, has this big huge thing that happens, and then the last episode kind of
falling action.
Yeah, right. It's the falling out, and everyone reacts to it, and you wonder how it's going to shape the world and everything. A Night of the Seven Kingdoms had that episode this last week. I mentioned at the top of the show that I think this episode 5, In the Name of the Mother, was or is at this time in the top 3 IMDb rated episodes in all of the franchise. Which I am not that surprised by. Now, let's get into spoiler free just for a second.
Okay.
I did genuinely love this episode.
Yeah, I thought it was really good.
That being said, I found myself a little disappointed for a little bit.
Okay.
And the reason is because, and this is before, remember that I am entirely ignorant to the books, right? So I read about what happens in the books after it happens on the show, so I don't spoil it and everything. I was expecting and I think I've been conditioned to expect this from Game of Thrones.
A grand battle.
Yeah, like Battle of the Bastards or these like huge things, but that was never the show. And for example, I was kind of hoping to see Lionel Baratheon with his fucking antler helmet, just like being a menace.
Crazy
yeah. But that didn't. It was a smaller scale battle. But
which fits because this is a very intimate sort of story that they're telling.
They also shoot it. Apparently, it's extraordinarily faithful to the book, down to Dunk losing consciousness and then thinking about some of his past, and down to his most of that battle is told from his POV, which the battle is very POV heavy.
Yes,
right.
There's several shots from like inside his helmet.
Right. Yeah. So they were very clearly trying to do well by the book.
Yes.
And so after I learned that, I was like, okay, I'm not really that disappointed because I would honestly rather them if the book is as good as all the Game of Thrones fans are saying, if the books are the novellas, then that's what they should do. Right.
I did think this episode had slightly weird pacing. Like having seen the whole thing, I understand what they're going for. I don't think it's a huge spoiler to say there's a significant part of this episode that's taken up with a flashback.
Yeah.
And it feels like that's a little bit long in comparison to the
like
modern
the
day
bit?
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You know what? I felt a little similar to that. I remember when I was watching it when it premiered, I was like, we're still in the flashback. Like these episodes are not very long. Look, we need to get back to the fight, right?
Like we have stuff to resolve.
Right.
Here.
So, honestly though, it was not a huge bug in my crawl, and I enjoyed it, and I thought there were some amazing character moments.
For sure.
And there are things that happen in this episode that have, despite the fact that it's a small, little bitty, intimate story, these enormous ripple effects on the world.
Yep.
Right. And it looks like they're going to keep making seasons of this because people absolutely love it. And it's going to get, I think the scale of this is going to become larger. So we're getting into spoilers. So if you've not seen A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, episode 5, In the Name of the Mother,
go watch it.
Yeah, go and watch it. If you don't care and you're okay with it being spoiled, that's fine too. But let us know in the comments what you thought about it.
Speaking of spoilers, did you think it was just a tiny bit rude that they spoiled a bit of House of the Dragon?
When?
During the flashback. Well, not like stuff that's already out of House of the Dragon, but stuff that's going to
tell
come.
me, because since we're already in spoilers, just tell me, is there a line you're
When they talk about how the Black Dragon lost and how Daemon's rebellion is over.
That was not the Daemon you thought it was.
Was it not?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, Daemon is not known. Daemon Targaryen, Rhaenyra's husband and uncle, by the way, is not the Black Dragon. Remember, everyone is named Daemon, Aemond, or Aegon. All the Targaryens are one of those three names, right? We'll talk about it when we get there, though, because I have like a short little history lesson in this as well.
So we open with Team Dunk.
I love this, by the way. So the big reveal at the end of the last episode was Baelor, fucking heir to the Iron Throne, the next king, also Hand of the King.
He's like, you know what, Dunk? You're on the right side of this. I'm gonna fucking fight alongside you.
Cue the Game of Thrones music, bitches. Yep. I'm fighting in this fight. So he rides up on his horse and he's like, all right, everyone, don't be dumb. Don't die.
Yes.
And everyone's like,
stick together, look out for each other, we're gonna win.
Yes. Fuck it. Raymond Fossaway's over there like taking notes like, don't die.
And then he pukes.
Okay, so yes. But before that, Beesbury asks about the Kingsguard, because he's like, motherfucker, there are 3 Kingsguard guys over there. And Baylor's like, well, I have a hack for that because they are sworn to not hurt me. So I'll fight them because they can't do anything to me anyway. It'll be a whole fucking joke. And Lionel Baratheon looks at the heir to the Iron Throne and current Hand of the King and goes, "You're a fucking mama's boy, aren't you?" And he's like, "Yeah, I guess so." And he makes a comment where he's like, "Oh, it sucks because second, like the unfavorite sons are always the ones that like fight the hardest or whatever." And, so that's when Fossaway pukes, and then Dunk, who I imagine probably would have puked on his own.
Immediately pukes.
Yeah. However, even if he wasn't in a situation like this, strikes me as the kind of guy that would be a sympathetic puker anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, he looks over and he sees Fossaway puke and he's like, "Oh God!"
and across the field, one guy's like, "Ha!
Yeah.
You fucking idiots! You're totally dead."
Yeah. So Egg walks up to Dunk and hands him his lance, and he rides away, and he turns around. And he echoes what he says in the second episode when he says, "You best be here when I get back. Rob me, and I'll hunt you down with dogs." Now, when he says this in the second episode, Egg argues and is like, "You don't have any fucking dogs." Yeah. And then Dunk barks at him and scares him.
Yeah.
But here, Egg barks as a response,
which is cute.
It is fucking adorable. And I will maintain this throughout the entire show. I would die for both of them. Like this pairing is not only just the casting and the actors, but just the story. This relationship is like really special. And I love every chance they get. They're like, "Oh, we're going to develop this a little bit more." So after he rides off, you can see there's a reaction shot from Egg when he knows that Dunk isn't looking, when you can tell that he's like, "Oh God, you're probably fucked." Yeah. So,
because he knows his brother is pretty vicious,
right? As we heard about in the last episode. So, the Septon guy comes out and does an opening number, and he's like, pretty much, this is how this works. If you die, you're guilty. So, don't die.
May the righteous survive.
Yes. And like, no one takes a minute to be like, that seems a little fucked up.
Because they believe in interventionist gods.
I get it. They're dumb. I get it. There is this fucking epic shot of Dunk and his boys lined up, and your eye is immediately drawn to Lionel Baratheon's insane antler helmet. Yeah. And so by the way, this Lionel Baratheon is known as the Laughing Storm because he laughs the entire time he fights. And it really like fucks with people. Yeah. Because they're like, why is he laughing? And they've also got fucking Riesling, the mad, the like crazy guy with one eye and shit. And like, you can tell at least the two of them are ready to go. They're like, "Oh, we are doing this." So on the other side, the drunk Targaryen son, Daeron, like he doesn't look like he's having a great time.
No,
like he doesn't want to be there.
Yeah.
He pulls his helmet on. He looks like he himself is probably about to puke. A horn blasts, and the charge begins. But Dunk just stalls out.
Yep.
And remember, I've not read any of the books. I really thought we were just going toward a tournament. I didn't realize we were going to end them in a fucking trial to the death or anything. And there are all these hints where like Dunk's like, okay, I might be an idiot, but I can handle myself.
Yeah.
And so I was never worried. I was like, Dunk's going to win this fucking tournament, right?
Obviously.
And then I was thinking Dunk's going to fucking win this trial. And then he just completely stalls out. Does not know what to do. Just like stands there and is like, where am I?
Yeah.
Now, Egg starts screaming. And it's a good thing in that episode, in episode 3, I think, where he takes the horse out and he like trains it how to charge to his voice, because Dunk isn't giving the horse any information.
Yeah.
And he hears Egg screaming and the horse is like, oh, we're going, I guess. And he starts the charge, probably without Dunk knowing what's going on.
If I'm remembering right, there's a shot where Dunk, like after Egg starts screaming, Dunk kind of gets the horse the old spurs, but
the kick in the seat.
Yeah.
There is this amazing POV shift where the camera starts behind Dunk and then smash cuts into his visor. It's like, have you ever played GoldenEye 64?
Yes.
It's like when
at the beginning of the mission,
the level, it's just like that.
It's very claustrophobic inside that helmet.
Yes, and I think like there's once, I can't remember exactly when during the fight is, but the POV is inside the helmet, and Dunk gets knocked over in this fight a lot. Gets knocked over into the mud, and the camera catches the water in the mud like pouring into the visor.
Yeah.
And it makes you feel like you're smothering. Like it is terrible. However, and I'm going to say this, in 99.9% of cases, and you'll understand why this 99.9% at the end of this, better to have your helmet on for a head wound.
Yes.
Than to not have a helmet on, right? So
they charge.
Yeah, they charge. He and Arion are the ones who are charging at one another. Dunk immediately takes a lance to the gut.
Yes.
And Arion pulls out his Morning Star and takes another pass at him and knocks him straight off his horse.
Yep.
And he falls over and blacks out. Just unceremoniously, first guy to pass out.
Because he got concussed pretty hard there.
So this is, and as I understand it, I've not read the source material yet, but this also happens in the story as well, where we cut to young Dunk scavenging bodies and horses after this big battle. It was likely during the Blackfire Rebellion. And he encounters a member of House Hightower, by the way. I don't know if you noticed his sigil on his breastplate. Who got trapped under his horse. And he's still like barely alive.
Yeah, he's like
alive-ish,
begging, like, "Oh God, Mom, help me!"
He wants his mama.
And Dunk's like, "I'm sorry, but I don't know how to deal with this. Just go to sleep, please."
Yeah, he's like, he goes to like put him out of his misery. Which
he doesn't even do that. He's just trying to smother him because he just don't want to hear him anymore.
Yeah, he's like, shh.
Like if he's putting him out of his misery, you grab some metal and cut his throat or something.
Yeah. Dunk ain't that smart. We know that. So his friend, Rafe, shows up.
Who, like, as soon as I saw her, I was like,
you knew her from somewhere,
seen
right?
You? Yep. Dune Prophecy.
Yes.
So she's also really good.
Yeah, she is also. Let me just say, so the actor that plays Dunk, his name is Bamber Todd. Of course, the most British fucking name I've ever heard. Looks exactly like you'd expect Dunk to look like at that age.
Yeah, big, gangly, awkward.
And Rafe is played by Chloe Lee, who is in Dune Prophecy, who is also really, really good at that show. So Rafe shows up, and she points out that...
What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, he's like
he's a noble. Like, help me get this fucking horse off him so we can ransom him back to...
Yeah, so someone will pay for him, yeah. So they tried to roll the horse off of him, which of course isn't going to work because the thing's like 900 pounds. And then they try to pull him out, and that doesn't work either. And then the guy's just like, okay, I'm going to die now. And then dies, right?
Yeah. They're like, well, shit. Does he have anything valuable on him?
Right. Rafe wants to say a prayer. And her basic logic is, if we say a prayer for him, he goes to heaven, and we don't have to deal with him in hell with like all the other small folk. So let's keep him out of hell. He's not allowed in hell.
Dunk's like, I don't know any prayers.
Yeah, which is a callback to his very first line.
It's a call forward. Chronologically.
No, you're right. Yeah. where his I think his very first line of the show is I don't know any words.
Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't know any prayers or anything for Arlen. So he's like, okay, I don't know any prayers, so I guess we're just gonna have to deal with this motherfucker in hell. And Rafe's like, all right, fine. So on the way home, they talk about Rafe has this burning desire to leave King's Landing.
Yes.
Which, by the way, I love that. So this entire show happens in Ashford. It's in the Reach. There aren't a lot of things around you that clues you into like where the story takes place or even what franchise. It could be any medieval thing.
Yeah.
They fix that with dialogue, right? Where they say a lot of Game of Thronesy things, and there are like, you know, Baratheons and names that you recognize. But there was something about seeing him on the beach there and seeing the Red Keep in the background where you're like, oh, right, we're in Game of Thrones. Yeah. So she really wants to leave King's Landing. And Dunk mentions, he's like, look, the war is over and the Black Dragon is dead. And so everything is going to be better now.
Yeah.
Now, the Black Dragon was Daemon Waters, who is the bastard son of Aegon IV.
Okay.
Who, on his deathbed, Aegon IV, legitimized all of his bastard sons. And it's like, you all count now. And then dies.
Terrible decision. Yeah. If you've ever played Crusader Kings, you know you do not legitimize bastards if you already have heirs.
Yeah. Dies.
Just makes horrible succession crisis.
It immediately starts a succession crisis. Daemon would eventually lead a rebellion against the crown called the Blackfire Rebellion. Mm-hmm. And the reason it does, he was the favorite son too, and he gives him the Conqueror's Sword, which is the sword that Aegon has at his crowning in House of the Dragon. So Aegon the Fourth is Aegon the Younger.
Okay.
Who is Rhaenyra's grandson.
Okay.
I think.
We're going to need to update the Targaryen family bush.
Yes. Yeah, so yeah, that whole thing. Now, Rafe likens the end of the war to a couple of kids they knew. One of them died by accident, and the other one was real pissed and came back to burn down half of Flea Bottom to get back at the other one. And she's like, that's pretty much everyone's just 12-year-old boys. Like, nothing ever matters. Like, we should get out of King's Landing. Yeah. So they live in Flea Bottom, which is a shithole of unbelievable proportions. And they're harassed by a member of the City Watch when they get back. And before he can steal their loot, he's distracted, and Rafe steals his ale skin.
Yes.
And he like realizes it a little too late, and they disappear. So
and she tastes it. She's like, dude, this ale fucking sucks.
This
what
sucks.
is he drinking?
Yeah,
throws it away.
God, this tastes like Bud. So they take their loot and they sell it, and they get a couple coins. Mm-hmm. They're saving up to sail to the Free Cities, and it looks like they might finally have enough. Right. Mm-hmm. Dunk doesn't want to leave because there's still a part of him. He makes up some excuses at first. He's like, well, what if it really sucks? But really, he doesn't.
What if my mom comes back looking for me?
Right. He doesn't want to go too far away because we're like, maybe his mom will come back. And Rafe is like, your mom's dead, kid. And even if she wasn't, why the fuck would she ever come back here? And Dunk's like, okay, but I guess I'm in love with you. And Rafe's like, yeah, I guess I'm in love with you too. And
it's adorable.
It is actually really sweet. And Rafe is like, well, I do love you, and I'm leaving, so...
So, if you want some of this, you gotta come with me.
So, and of course, Dunk, who is like probably 14, probably the only thing he's thinking about is having sex with someone, is like, okay, fine, I'll go.
Yeah, okay.
So, it turns out the price for passage to the Free Cities has doubled.
Because everybody wants out of King's Landing.
Yes, because of the tariffs, probably. And the prices doubled, and they don't have enough, right? Mm-hmm. So... there's a moment where Rafe kind of lashes out at Dunk there, even though she doesn't mean it.
Yeah.
They run into that City Watch motherfucker again.
And he's like, hey,
he's pretty pissed.
Where's my fucking ale skin?
Yeah, where that thing, that ale skin was just like an ale skin to me. Where is it? And
she's like, well, your ale kind of sucked, so I threw it away.
Yeah, I threw it away, but and Dunk's like, we can get it back. Like, everyone calm down. Like, we can get it back. So he corners them with a bunch of his, like, guys, and they...
With one other guy. There's only one other guy.
I thought there were at least two.
Nope, there's just
Okay,
one.
so two guys,
One guy
including
with a spear.
him, and he steals their coins. And as he's walking away, Rafe steals his knife, and he realizes it.
It's like, you motherfucker.
Not what he says something way worse. Catches up to her, cuts her throat right in front of Dunk, and Dunk loses it.
Yes.
And jumps on this guy, and he's like biting for the jugular and shit.
Trying to choke him out.
They throw him on the ground and they stab him through the leg.
And then
hold on a second. I have in my notes written, a crazy drunk man comes stumbling out of a bar and screams, "In the name of the mother, leave that boy be," and then pukes himself because he's so drunk.
By God, that's Arlen of Penetry's music.
Right. And then pulls out his sword.
Fucking chops the other guy's head off.
He takes his head clean off. And
right next to some convenient pigs and start like, is this for me?
Oh, which, by the way, my uncle worked at a hog farm when I was in high school, and I went there with him for don't even remember why. And he's like, "You always go into the hog pens with two people," and I was like, "Why?" And he's like, "If you're in there and you hit your head and you get knocked out or something, they will eat you whole. Like there will be nothing left of you." And I was like, I don't want to go in there at all. I think now that sounds fucking terrifying. So yeah, like the one pig's like, "Ooh, look ahead."
Nom nom nom.
So he kills the City Watch guy,
who puts up a better fight, but does eventually get killed.
Not really that great of a fight. Like they tumble around a little bit, and then Arlen.
I said better, not good.
Arlen gets up. He's probably shat himself at this point. He just dusts himself off,
sheathes his sword, walks off.
He screams, "Get out of my way," to no one in particular, and just stumbles off.
I love that this is Dunk's introduction to Arlen of Penetry, and this is what convinces Dunk that, holy shit, that's a guy worth following.
That's pretty badass, yeah. There is a heartbreaking moment where Dunk kind of stands over Rafe's body, and then he goes back home, and he's not sure what to do. He's got this leg wound, and he's got no one else. He has no money. And through his window, he sees the drunken knight again, who is like stumbled into an apple cart or something.
She's like, "What the fuck, man?" He's like, sorry,
drunk.
Sorry.
And he's like, "You know what? I'm going to follow that guy around like a sick puppy." So he starts following him.
He's got nowhere else to go, nothing else to do.
So he like bandages himself up and just follows him. Arlen doesn't acknowledge him at first, but he knows that Dunk is following him, I think. And eventually Dunk gets sick because he drinks some bad water and his leg wound is probably infected, and he collapses. And Arlen finally pities him and walks up to him, and he gives him a lesson in his guiding philosophy as a knight, which is stop being a pussy and get your ass up. And during this montage, by the way, I love how like we get this unadulterated look at Arlen. Like, yes, he can fight.
Yes,
he's an honorable man. Like, for example, he's never met Dunk. He came out of that bar and just saw a boy in trouble and was like, "Oh fuck no, not on my fucking watch."
And pulls out his sword
and kills two men and then fucks off. Right?
Yeah, doesn't even bother to stop. Say, "Hey, you got any reward for me?"
Right? It's just he did it because that's that was the thing to do.
He was protecting the innocent.
But he's also a drunk of epic proportions.
I love throughout this montage we see him like at a fire just. I don't know if he's speaking in tongues or if this is supposed to be High Valyrian.
I think it's High Valyrian. Yeah. In my notes I say he's speaking in tongues,
just babbling about nothing in particular with his big.
He wakes up the one morning and finds that he has fallen on his knife and it has a wound, and he's like, "Oh motherfucker!" Is
that the wound that gets infected and he eventually dies from?
Well, no, because he dies. He dies when Dunk is much older.
Oh yeah. And that was his arm. I remember now.
Yeah. Well, actually, I think it was his chest, but
whatever.
Not the same one. So, Arlen's instruction to get up.
Yes.
Brings us back to the fight with Dunk.
Yes.
Who is still getting his ass handed to him.
Well, he got his ass handed to him, and now he's kind of lying in the mud.
Yeah, and people are like riding by, like hitting him with shit, and like, fuck you. Arian has singled him out.
Yes.
Dunk finally gets his wits about him, and he gets Arian down in the mud with him, and he starts to beat him. and Arian gets a couple good stabs in, and they finally get to their feet and they fight, and Arian still gets some cuts on him. And there's this really funny moment where one of the working girls that we meet, like in the first episode, like stands up and cheers him on. And she's like, "Don't kick his ass!" Yeah,
and everyone's like, "What?"
Yeah.
One thing I love about this whole present day sequence is that like we're experiencing it through Dunk's perspective, right? And like there's no, like all the sounds are real far away. It has that concussion.
Oh yeah,
effect.
everything is muffled, like he's lost his hearing. Yeah. So,
because honestly, he got hit upside the head. He probably does have a concussion.
Dunk is barely able to stand.
Yes.
But he still takes blow after blow from Arian.
And just keeps on standing, gives him the old, I didn't hear no bell.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that's in my notes later. It's the, I can do this all day thing, you know?
Yeah.
The fight is insanely visceral, and there's no music, and like you said, the sound effects are muted and far away, and like you feel the chaos of it, and you see shit happening in the background.
Yeah.
Like Lionel Baratheon's horse gets stabbed. You see Baelor take a blow to the head. You see one of the Kingsguard guy like chasing after somebody and shit. So there's this insane POV shot of Dunk getting hit in his eye, and he takes his helm off. Because he's like, "Ow, that really hurts."
I can't see anything. I can't.
Fuck.
I already couldn't see anything, but now I really can't see anything.
Why was I ever wearing this piece of shit in the first place? Hold on a second. TikTok is trying to.
Oh my God, TikTok!
Even though TikTok knows I'm here, it's gonna make this really hard on me, isn't it?
Okay, there we did.
There, did that work? Are you? Okay.
Jesus Christ, TikTok sucks.
Okay, so he takes an injury to the eye. He takes his helm off, and Dunk looks like shit.
Yes.
Like the dude's barely alive.
He's been stabbed like 6 times.
Yeah.
He took the big blow to the head.
His face is bruised and bloody. He is able, however, to use his size and beat Arian back. Yes. He gives him a cut in the leg, which honestly was probably real close to hitting his femoral artery, which would have,
or his dick.
Yeah, well, yes, that would have been terrible. Femoral artery, though, he would have died in seconds.
Yes, a more immediate threat.
Yeah. So this catches Makar's attention, by the way. He notices Arian's getting his ass whooped, and he's like, "Oh no, my son, no." Dunk collapses, and Egg calls for him to get up. And this actor that plays Egg, there is a desperation in his voice in this part of the episode that is so bone chilling that you can tell Egg just made this friend. He trusts him. He's probably thinks of him more of a brother in like a week than he ever felt about Arian or
Drunko.
Daron. Yeah. So he tells him to get up, but Dunk just like passes out, but like his eyes are still open, and he honestly looks like he's fucking dead. Yeah. Right? Egg keeps yelling for him to get up, and Arian walks over and he's like, "Hey, this dude's fucking dead. This is it's
blow
over.
The horn. It's over."
Egg keeps yelling for him to get up. Just before the horn blows, Dunk hears Arlen's voice again. He was like, "Stop being a pussy. Get the fuck up." And
he does like,
yeah. And then Egg stops the horn with one of the most urgent like kid screams that I think, and like it's wired in our biology, when a kid screams like that, everyone turns to look, you know. Who's like tells him to wait, and they see that he's still like he gets up, and all the common folk, you can tell the common folk are like, "Oh, this fucking guy,
yeah,
let's fucking go." He gets his second wind, he stands up. It's fucking common man versus a dragon. And the people who are just fucking tired of dragons are like, "Kill that man." Yes. Fucking go
kill that
motherfucker. The music gets really gorgeous, and this is where Dunk looks at Arian and is like, "I didn't hear no fucking bell." So Arian pulls his visor down, and you can tell he is spent, right? Like it was a hard fight. He stumbles toward his sword. They clash again. Both of them are like barely able to stand. It's like with those boxers when they're hugging each other and they're like trying to land, you know. Dunk is able to get Arian on the ground and just starts beating the ever-loving shit out of him. He grabs his shield and he's hitting him with it. And, Arian realizes how much danger he's in.
Yes.
And he says he yields.
I yield.
And Dunk stands up and drags his ass
Yes.
over to the main box.
Tell them what you just fucking told me.
He's like, say it louder, motherfucker. And in the most pitiful, defeated voice, Arian says, I withdraw my accusation. And the fight ends.
Yeah.
Just as quickly as it began, it ends. So, in the aftermath, Beesbury and Humphrey Harding are dead on Dunk's side. In the book, Arian's side loses Sir Willem Wilde and Sir Donald of Duskendale, who was one of the Kingsguard guys.
Mm-hmm.
Dunk gets dragged out by his buddy, the Smith.
Yes.
And one of Dunk's injuries is like really serious. And so the Smith is like, we'll pour boiling oil on it and everything will be fine. And Prince Baylor shows up and he's like, actually, it needs to be boiling wine. Otherwise, he'll
would
die.
Kill him.
Yes. So Dunk immediately pledges himself to Baylor. He's like, I am your fucking man now and for all fucking time.
Yes.
And Baylor is like, sold.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good. You're a hell of a fighter. We could use everyone.
You're a very large man,
yes.
and where we're going, I need large men.
And you comfort me. Yes. So it becomes apparent that something is wrong with Baylor.
Mm-hmm.
His helm is smashed really badly. And when Raymond Fossil comes over to look, Baylor's like, I think my visor's cracked. And Raymond looks at him because he's like, you're not wearing a fucking visor. What are you talking about? And then Baylor's like, oh, weird. My hands are turning to trees. And they pull his helmet off, and you see the reaction of the people standing behind Baylor first. And you know there's something terribly wrong. And he feels it and is like,
that's weird.
Huh.
And then he turns around, put his back to the camera, and he's just missing the entire back of his head.
Yeah, it's just like not there. And because he mentions, he's like, oh yeah, my dumbass brother probably hit me with that fucking.
He's really
mace.
fucking strong.
Yeah. So they reveal the wound. It's very obviously fatal.
Yes.
It's just he hasn't died yet.
And he just falls over.
Yeah. I think in the book his helmet kind of holds everything together, and when they take it off, that's what kills him.
Yeah.
So he collapses and he dies in Dunk's arms. And this is exactly the prophecy that Daron hinted at in the previous episode about a dragon falling on him.
Mm-hmm.
And fucking dead. Last words of the episode are Dunk saying that he's sorry because he feels terribly that this whole thing happened, and this honestly probably would have been one of the best kings that the Seven Kingdoms had seen. He's
certainly one of the best Targaryens.
Yes, he was by all accounts extraordinarily gentle and kind and fair, but also wise, and he would have been a great king. And he just fucking the first guy to believe in Dunk the Knight, right? Who wasn't Arlen, who I think believed in Dunk but just wouldn't say it out loud. Dies, right? And this is going to have a lasting impact on the world because he was supposed to be the next fucking king. Yeah. Now, I saw the trailer for the
next
season finale, and a couple, like, first of all, Baylor's son does not seem that happy with Dunk. I think he kind of blames the whole thing on him in the first place. And there is this bit where Maekar finds Dunk and he's like, I'm gonna be real honest with you. It's time for my kid to be a squire to somebody. Might as well be you. Do you want to do it? And Dunk's like, I have had it up to here with Targaryens, so I'm gonna pass. Now we already know that doesn't last. Yeah. So this ultimately leads to another big rebellion, by the way. So this, I sense that while it's something I've loved about this season, and I'm sure I will end up saying the same thing next week, the scale and scope of this is so anti-Game of Thrones, where it all happens in the same place the entire season. It's a very small story with small people. Baylor, being the Hand of the King, is like the highest ranking dude there, and we don't see a ton of him.
Yep.
I think this ends up exploding into something much larger. So, and have seen also.
Well, I mean, we know it does because somehow Egg has to end up king.
Right. So yeah. So we know Baylor dies. His son has to die. Stefan, I think his name is maybe.
I don't know.
Makar has to die. Arian has to die, and then Darren dies. And I think there might be another Targaryen boy who ends up he abdicates and joins the Night Watch, and we run into him in Game of Thrones.
Sure,
so
makes sense.
Yeah. So anyway, so far it's been a great show. Been really enjoying it. Next week we'll be talking about the season finale. So please come and say hi then, and we'll talk about more Star Wars news and everything. I need to get some sleep. Great podcast. Bye. Hey, thanks, Hayden. I appreciate it, man. Make sure you follow us on